Guitar Land, Mike Heading here. Just got a little basic mini lesson for you today. This time we're going to be talking about the key of D, and more specifically the open major scale in the key of D. So using as many open strings as possible. I'm going to break it down in the lower octave and then up an octave, and then also show you some other chords that'll work in that key, some basic picking exercises, and a bunch of stuff to just get you started moving around, picking some notes in the key of D. Alright, here's the basic open D major scale lesson. Alright, let's start breaking down this lesson for open D major scales. So let's just get the basic scale down first. We're going to start with our open 4th string, so that's our D string, that's our root note. Then we got the 2nd fret on the 4th string, 4th fret, open 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and 3rd fret. Let's go back down. I'm just doing it with all down strokes to start. We're just getting familiar with the scale. I always recommend to students when you're working on some new left-hand stuff, so a new scale, right? Keep your right hand really simple. Vice versa, if you're working on some new advanced picking patterns, keep your left hand really simple. So let's go up and down those notes again, and we're just going to use as many open strings as possible, okay? Or you can do down-up picking. Familiar with the notes. Okay, so let's add some basic strumming, because once you get the basic scale down, very rarely in music are you ever going to go just straight up and down the scale. So what I recommend to people is get used to strumming and then playing a little lick and then going back to strumming. And again, we're not always just going to go straight up and down the notes. We might go up the notes and then back down. Getting used to mixing those notes up in a different order. So we're going to do a little bit of strumming on a D. So I'm just doing my simple D chord. Got my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 3rd finger, 3rd fret 2nd string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret 1st string. So I'm going to do a pick strum. You can do that as many times as you need to, and then we're going to play a lick. If you don't get back to it, if you don't hit the lick perfectly, practice just getting back to your strumming. Basically what we're working on here is creating a continuous sound, and switching from strumming to picking. We don't want to have a different grip when we, like on the pick when we do strumming versus picking. We need that to be all very consistent. A lot of times in bluegrass or folk, you're going to be strumming, and then you got to be picking, and then you're right back to strumming. So that's very common. You want to get very familiar switching from strumming to picking and back and forth. So let's try that again. You can make up your own too. I'm just giving you something to practice. That's all just strumming on a basic D chord. I'm not even switching to different chords yet. We'll do that in a second. So that's the basic D major scale. Going from low D to high D. But we also have some notes lower than that we can go, that we can't get all the way down to another low D because we don't have our lowest note's an E note, which is why sometimes people do drop D tuning. You might have heard of that, where they tune their lowest string down to a D so they can get that next root note. But in this exercise, we're not going to do that. We're just going to add the rest of the notes. So we can still play our low E string because it's still in our scale. We can play the 2nd fret. We can play the 3rd fret on that low string. And then on the next string up, we can play open, 2, and 4. And then we're back to our root. So we have... You can practice adding those lower notes. you can get in any order you want. Just try and get back to your open D when you're done. You know, so practice that. So it's good to know those notes below the root as well, because we're going to be using those. So next thing we want to practice is our target notes. So we already had one. Our open D string is a good target note when we're playing in D, right? Another one is that 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So we can practice going up to our target note, and that's going to make the lick sound complete. Or we can go up to the higher one. So if you think of your target note, it's going to make your, whatever lick you play, it's going to make it sound a lot more complete. So the rest of the chords in D, so 3 other chords that are going to work really well in D are G, that's our 4 chord, A, our 5 chord, and B minor, our 6 minor. And those numbers are just coming from the notes of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4 is G, 5 is A, and 6 is B or B minor. And those are just really common chords, really safe chords in the key of D. You could mix those up in a bunch of different orders, and you could play like 10 or 20,000 songs. So let's add the target notes for each chord. So remember, on the D it's the 4th string, and then 3rd fret 2nd string. For G it's 3rd fret on the low string, or open 3rd string. That's a G or a G. A is open 5th string, or 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And B minor is 2nd fret on the 5th string, or open 2nd string. So let's do some basic strumming now, adding those target notes. We got D, let's go really slow. Now we're going to play our lick down to G. Here we go. So now we get down to our target note there. Back to D, now let's do a lick to A. Here we go. Fast. We got D, G, D, A, D, B minor, mix those up. I'm just doing it for practice. You know, nothing particular about those licks I'm playing. You're just trying to find your target notes, remember. So D, G, A, or B minor. So those are really common. Again, mix the notes up, practice staying on for different orders, or you can mix the notes up, or the chords up rather, so you could do D, mixing them up in a different order, then B minor. The more ways you can mix them up, the better, really. So now that we've got one octave down, lastly, let's look at another higher octave. So we're going to start on this 3rd fret 2nd string. That's our D. Now we play open A. Now we're going to play open E string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then pinky up on the 5th fret. Now we're going to shift our whole shape up, 7, 9, 10. Same thing, you could practice mixing those up in different order once you get it down. And then go into your lower scale as well, which would be good practice. So now you've got a couple spots to play those same licks. It's good to know the scale in as many octaves as possible. And there's lots of different ways to play that scale using open strings or not, or closed positions, you know. And we can break that down in other lessons, but again, start with open strings. It'll help you get familiar with the chords. Lastly, let's look at some folded scales. So that's sometimes like a scale pattern. So remember, if we took each of those scales and gave them a scale notes and gave it a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. A common pattern would be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So you're going up 3 notes and then going back. So we'd have. It's a great way. It's great for ascending or descending lines. Those are really good practice for getting your finger. That's good finger workout, left and right hand. And you don't always have to do the whole pattern too. You could do a partial pattern. And then maybe go to a G. So you can just use that. Again, these are just things to get your creativity flowing. Another one that works good is like what they call thirds. So the pattern would be 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5. So you're skipping a note and then going down one and then skipping. So it would sound like this. So I'll do it a little faster. So those are just good finger exercises, great ear training. It's really good practice. All right, hopefully that helps you out. All right, good luck.